Hello everyone and welcome to Blaugrana Everything, and welcome back to the channel and a match review as we look back at all the action from FC Barcelona's unconvincing 2-1 victory against Getafe at Camp Nou. In truth, it was a type of game where, as a fan, you come out of it with concerns rather than assurances of any sort, unless of course you're a glass half full type of person, in which case you're probably saying, well, Barcelona showed that they could grind out a win, and when the going gets tough, Barca can still get the job done. But if you're like me, you're probably wondering why freaking Barcelona were parking the bus at home against Getafe. This team has to play Bayern in 2 weeks' time. Are we going to be parking the bus then when will it even work? Going by how fragile our defense looked. Anyway, what we're going to do in this video is that we're going to quickly look at the tactical setup from both teams before talking about Barcelona's performance on the night, then discussing negatives and positives from the game, as well as picking our man of the match. Now, before all of that, a quick reminder to hit like and subscribe if you're enjoying this video so you can stay up to date with all the coverage of all of FC Barcelona's matches on this channel. In fact, you're going to want to be here for the next match coming up, as Barcelona will be taking on FC Bayern. Like I pointed out, yes, Bayern Munich, think of 8 reasons why it's going to be a tough match. Let's go ahead and look at how the two teams set up. Barcelona set up as we expected in a 4-3-3 with the following players. In goals, Marc-Andre ter Stegen, a back four of Emerson, Araujo, Longley and Alba, with a midfield three of Roberto Busquets and De Jong, and a front three of Griezmann, Memphis and Martin Braithwaite. Getafe, on the other hand, set up with a 4-4-2 with the following players. In goal, Soria, a back four of Iglesias, Mitrovic, Jenny and Oliveira, with a midfield four of Alenya, Maximovic, Arambari and Yankto, with a front two of Sandro and Enes Unal. Let's now briefly look at how Barcelona performed in this game. Barca started the game with a goal after just 97 seconds following a great team move with passes from right to left and a smart finish by Sergio Roberto after an excellent cross from Jordi Alba. The Blaugrana started with confidence and creativity in possession, but were as vulnerable as usual at the back, and they allowed Getafe to score with what was really their first attack of the game, as Sandro Ramirez, former Barcelona player, scored with a shot from 20 yards out that was assisted by another former Barcelona player in Carlos Alenya. This is not the same Getafe team we've all grown to dislike, and the visitors showed courage and poise on the ball and played with some confidence after scoring. It probably helps that they didn't have, what's his name? The guy who was, kicking people all over the pitch last time around and was standing over Ansu Fati like, "What you gonna do, kid? What?" Anyway, they were a bit too careless in possession and they gave the ball away in midfield to Frankie de Jong somewhere around the 17th minute, and he found his countrymate Memphis Depay with a perfect through ball, and Memphis jinked past the defender before placing a shot to score what was really a great goal to fire Barcelona ahead. The home team was back on top in the final 15 minutes of the first period and looked a little less chaotic at the back, and at halftime the Catalans looked in good shape to finish the job and get the 3 points with the score at 2-1. Getafe switched formations at the start of the second half to a 5-3-2, and they just completely changed the complexion as they dominated the first 20 minutes of the game, pressing high up the pitch and sending plenty of players forward. The visitors fired plenty of shots at goal and they looked a real threat, but thankfully most of those shots weren't even on targets. Barca, on the other hand, couldn't hold on to the ball and have any measure of control. But after Carlos Alenya was substituted for reasons I do not understand, Getafe lost their best, most creative player, and the away side could no longer really trouble Barcelona's defense as they found it even harder now to break through, as Ronald Koeman as well went to a back five and fielded 4 different midfielders, all with defensive duties, just so he could hold on to the lead. Barca had one late chance to score a third after some wonderful play by Serginho Dest led to the American picking out Depay at the back post with a wonderful cross. The Dutchman, however, chose to go with a flashy acrobatic finish though, and he spurned the chance as a result. Barca finally held on to the ball in the final 10 minutes and barely made it to the finish line, but the final whistle came and La Blaugrana earned all 3 points. This was a really bad performance by a Barca team that needed to park the bus against Getafe at home, which it isn't a very encouraging sign for the season ahead. So having said all of that, we can quickly talk negatives and positives. As per usual, I will begin with negatives. I have a couple of negatives, both of which are things I highlighted from the match review against Sociedad. So there's going to be a bit of a feel of deja vu about my negatives for those of you who have seen that video. First up, tactical inflexibility from Ronald Koeman. Once again, Koeman looked like a shipwrecked sailor clinging onto a piece of driftwood after his opposite number changed his tactical setup for the second half. It's almost like Koeman doesn't know that other managers can do this, because the same thing happened against Sociedad when Alguacil switched up his formation second half and Barca couldn't have an answer. Same thing happened here again. Barca's 4-3-3 was no longer working. Koeman knew it, we all knew it, but the big Dutchman froze up, waiting until the 20th minute of the second half to react with a sub that in effect didn't even really change the team's tactical shape. It was just, I guess, he brought on Dest to better deal with Alenia, I guess. My second negative was the defensive fragility. It says a lot about us that Getafe were able to score with just their first meaningful attack of the afternoon. Much like in the matches against Sociedad and Bilbao, Barcelona looked very vulnerable through the middle, and you can only wonder what will come of that weakness when Barcelona play Bayern in 2 weeks' time. I mean, you know, Bayern have got this guy named Lewandowski who plays through the middle. The nightmares, guys, the nightmares. Moving on from there, I will quickly give you my positives on the game. Well, I say positives, I should have said positive, and it was this: the continued improvement of form from Sergi Roberto. Since shifting back to his natural position in midfield, Roberto has now scored 2 goals and assisted 1, all of which have come at crucial moments for Barcelona. Last season, many fans, myself included, criticized Koeman for repeatedly picking Roberto at right back, especially since he wasn't fit. But so far, he has started the season very brightly, and I genuinely believe that he has been our third best player so far. Yes, like in the entire squad. Third best player after De Jong and Depay. So let's give credit where it is due. Sergio Roberto, keep up the good work. With that done, I just have to pick my man of the match, and it was between a pair of Dutchmen this time around, and I just edged it after much thought to Memphis Depay. The Barca new boy was at the heart of Barca's first goal as he dropped deep to receive the ball from Lenglet and then play in Jordi Alba, who eventually assisted Sergio Roberto. And minutes later, he put Barcelona ahead after he ghosted past a couple of defenders and placed a neat shot past Soria. Frenkie de Jong really ran his countrymen close for the Blaugrana everything man of the match gong today though, but at the end of the day, I thought Memphis Depay was the man of the match. Well, that does it for my match review. What are your thoughts on the game? Do you think this was an encouraging performance by the team? I do not. Who was your man of the match? Thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Blaugrana Everything for more content. Have a great day, and Forza Barca.